Oh, this sounds really wank, Ross. It sounds really wank. My name's Ross, and this is Grow Your Own Life. Grow Your Own Life is a channel that I created a few years ago to talk openly about my hobbies and interests and my disability. Over the last few years, though, it's kind of been taken over by growing vegetables, which I love to do, but that wasn't the sole purpose of my channel, Grow Your Own Life. I really want to encourage more people, especially those like myself with disabilities, to get out there and embrace nature. I think I've literally picked the busiest road in the countryside, and oddly, when I walked this a few weeks ago, it wasn't that busy. So this video is all about an adventure I've had in my mind for probably 20 odd years. Now, I've always wanted to, and I've never got around to it for various reasons, one of them being my disability and the fact that I'm known that it's going to take a lot of effort. And obviously when you've got a young family and stuff, you can't always plan in the downtime after a big adventure. So I knew this was going to be a bit of a killer for me, but it's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to walk up the Wrekin, which is that big hill there, 1,335 feet of Shropshire's mountain. I've always wanted to have breakfast, like bacon sandwiches up the top of it. And then I wanted to walk all the way down it and head off that way to Ironbridge. And then once I got to Ironbridge, have a pint. Now, I've been up the Wrekin plenty of times. I've been to the pubs around here plenty of times, and I've been to Ironbridge plenty of times. They're places that I absolutely love. They're my favourite places in the world. But I'd never incorporated them all together and done them all on one day. So I thought, let's pack a bag, let's grab a friend, and let's go on an adventure. So the plan was simple: make our way up the Wrekin, wiggle our way down the Wrekin, have a few strategic beers, oh, and of course, bacon sandwiches at the summit. Filling his moss. If you've got that in Ironbridge later, it's going to be impressive. That. Maybe keep hold of it. Nice. And to be honest, I think it's going to be a lot tougher than I thought. Now, the Wrekin isn't a big hill. It's 1,335 feet. It's just on the outskirts of Wellington in Shropshire. It used to be an Iron Age hill fort. It's got a load of history around it. It's a real cool place. But it's nothing major. In fact, people run up this. We were even lapped multiple times by the same runner. You're a peeping Tom, aren't you, Phil?
We saw a cuckoo at
A cuckoo?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I haven't heard one for ages, which is a shame.
We've heard one. Walk around the sun, I said, is that a cuckoo? No, it's got the app, eh? Yeah, it's
Still got your moss. This is about halfway now, isn't it? You reckon?
of course,
Yeah.
Feel it, feel me moss.
Oh, like I'm furry. Run, Forrest, run! Good view, this, isn't it? Bloody good view. Tell you what, it makes you work for it though, doesn't it? It makes you work for it if you want bacon up the top. You come up here early enough, you often see the deer in those woods.
Yeah.
Well, they used to years ago. Can't say I've been up here much lately. Yeah, it's been a few years since I've been up the Wrekin. Actually, there's a bit of a tale with the Wrekin regarding a giant trying to dam the river and flood the people of Shrewsbury. And a lot of people say that you can't consider yourself a Salopian until you've climbed the Wrekin and gone through Heaven's Gate and Hell's Gate, and this is the start of the Iron Age hill fort. And these two mounds here is where they believe the entrance to the hill fort would have been. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The views are absolutely stunning. Honestly, on a clear day you can see for absolutely miles, and it's a beautiful place. But as you can see from Phil's footage and his moss, it takes me a while. Whose fucking grand idea was this?
I thought you were going to come down that bit there.
I'm going to make it easy for yourself.
That's a nice breeze, isn't it?
That's a fucking Boston breeze, that is. Oh man, that feels good. The end is in sight, which is essentially halfway. Oh,
What goes up must come down.
yeah. And where are we going? Can't see, now the power station's gone, you can't see Ironbridge.
They'll put it up on the old summit.
Anyway, we're walking down to the river there somewhere. I think it's over there. I think.
Sniper out.
Got sniper out ready. Like Call of Duty. I think we're going down there somewhere, into the gorge. Right, let's go. Bacon to be eaten.
Well, proves you can do it.
Yeah.
Can you get down?
Don't know.
So we're going down.
Well, I can be, my body can be dragged down, I suppose. So I'll be all right.
They'll roll you off the edge.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
We're going down the Arkle side.
No, the Ark was behind us, isn't it? That's Devil's Chair, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
What's the name of that side?
Wenlock Edge? Oh, I don't know. Can't remember.
I don't know. There they are.
Phil's just asked if I want a bike up here next time, and I said no problem, obviously because I've got an e-bike. He's not so keen anymore. What a view, eh? What a view. Oh. Didn't realise how big that quarry had got.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. That's like doubled in size. What's that bird? I think that, are they swifts? Unfortunately the camera doesn't pick this up, but we were absolutely surrounded by dozens of either swifts or swallows. I'm not the best person when it comes to IDing birds, but they were one or t'other. They could have been sand martins, I suppose.
Don't know if you can hear that.
They were on the wing and they were catching flies, and they were going all around the top of the Wrekin, and the noise they were making, again, the microphone doesn't pick it up. It was beautiful with a little chirping. And there's the I believe they're the Welsh hills. Someone will correct me. Right folks, I got to the top of the Wrekin. I'm absolutely knackered, but we can chill out here now, have a beer, cook some bacon before we head off. But this is the, well, I hope is the hardest bit done now, because it's the up bit. Now we get to go down. Whole different set of muscles. Oh man, I'm going to be sore next week, but I've done it now because I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it again. And I'm feeling good, and next week is an easy week so I can rest and recover. So, yeah. Time to make a fire. Now for the boring bit. If you're liking this video and you've got 9 minutes in and you don't want to murder me yet, please consider liking and subscribing. Cheers. Oh look, people left their rubbish. Look at that. What arseholes. You bring your picnic up here and then you leave it. Which means we've got to take it back down with us. It's alright here, isn't it? your moss and then pulled them off. This is where Phil discovered he'd lost his moss, and he spent a good 10-15 minutes looking for it. Unfortunately, what we hadn't realised is the moss was actually under the tarpaulin that we were sitting on. The moss was fine. He ended up finding some more moss, so in the end he had 2 bits of moss. But yeah, it was quite enjoyable watching Phil hunt around for his moss. Now this is the Rook's Nest, I believe it's called, or Raven's Nest, as some people call it, on the top of the Wrekin. Someone will correct me again, is it Rook's Nest or Raven's Nest? I've heard so many different things, but it's an absolutely beautiful spot. It was gorgeous. We were just out of the wind a little bit. Obviously we got a nice little raised up barbecue, fire going. Just to point out to everyone, we went there and we left it as we found it. We took everything back down the hill with us, including other people's rubbish. And as always, when you go out on an adventure, leave it as you find it. What's the saying? Take only photographs, leave only footprints. That's what you should do in nature, folks. Look after it for the next generation. I think it's just a big buzzard enjoying the thermals. I don't know if I can get him on this. Just about. Wouldn't make a wildlife photographer, would I? What a view though, man. It's like just soothes the soul a bit, doesn't it? Also, big shout out to my mate Phil. It was really nice having a beer on top of the Wrekin with you, mate. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for being part of my support crew on this adventure. Now, I've known him for years. We've known each other since school, and he's a top bloke, and he knows how I feel about him. Honestly, mate, over the years, you've got me out of a few scrapes. Hey, isn't it sad that people come to these amazing areas, though, and leave their rubbish everywhere? God, it's one of the things that really pains me. It seems to have got worse as well since COVID. What happened to keep grit and tidy? A message that they told us all when we were in school. I'm leaving the orange peel because it's biodegradable and it's all mouldy, but I picked the rest of the stuff up.
Sponsored by Bud. Beer of Kings. Bud. 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 Could be worse, could be Bud Light.
Hopefully that works. If it doesn't, we're not having bacon sandwiches. All these people that run up here, they may be faster, but do they have bacon? That's all I can say.
You know, control their offspring again.
Right, Chief? There's a load of middle class Tarquins over there. Everyone's met a Tarquin. Oh, Tarquin, Tarquin, please don't deface that really old monument in the grounds of a National Trust property. Oh, Tarquin, Tarquin, stop pulling the wings off the duck, please, Tarquin. Yep, we've all met a Tarquin.
What?
You want bacon?
Oh. You can definitely tell it's been cooked by wood.
Yeah, tastes good. I'll tell you what, tastes nicer than it does in the gas. They're living their best life. But they haven't got fucking bacon, have they? I just had the most glorious piss ever. Sorry, but I had to share. Check that out for a view. I had to go. No one was around. I was out the way. Oh. Jealous, aren't you, Phil? And as you can see, folks, we're starting our descent now, and we left it in a better condition than when we found it, ready for the next lot of people to sit there and enjoy the view. Still got his moss, man. Still got his moss.
I got some more.
You got some more? Did you have a good wee?
Oh, it was a good wee.
Good view?
Good view. He's got a nice spot there, isn't he?
He has, hasn't he? Doing some motivational speaking.
Yeah.
You have to remember, all the dead bodies on Everest were once very motivated people.
I love that saying.
It's good, isn't it?
Hopefully they won't come down this way. Go down to that block and fill back up.
Now this is where the descent got a bit sketchy because we had to navigate our way through the Tarquins and Tillies on the top. In fact, they were mainly Tarquins, they were mainly young lads. And whose parents thought it was perfectly fine for them to launch cricket ball sized lumps of rock off the top of the Wrekin onto the path below. So yeah, we tried to get out of this bit as quickly as possible, and it almost ended in an absolute disaster. And I highly recommend not coming this way if you're not stable on your feet like me, because I cut the sound out of this because I actually fell here, and Phil probably saved me from breaking several bones. If you see in the middle there, that's where my knees hit the floor. I fell forward, that tree stopped me, Phil stopped me, many a choice word was said, and we realised that basically trying to get away from the Tarquins as quickly as possible down this route while having rocks launched at us probably wasn't the best way to descend the Wrekin. So if you do this trip, go another way. It gets a bit easier now there, hopefully.
It's rewarding.
Oh. Oh, it's the scout camp, yeah?
That's what it looks like from the left there. Field and a hair.
Yeah, it's the scout camp. It's got a public right of way through it though, I'm sure it has. What, sorry?
Basically, don't go on your bike.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Wrekin Scout Camp. A scout hut. I used to come here with Seth when I did cubs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was really cool. Oh. Hard to believe that we were all the way up there. Isn't it really?
Not the bad, huh? We were looking at these fields.
I know.
You had a piss up there.
I did. I was looking at those cows when I was having a piss. All those cows have seen my willy.
I thought you still looked disappointed.
Oh yeah, there's a little calf. All the way up there, look.
That guy was sat on that rock there.
He was, wasn't he?
Horses.
Afternoon, you alright? This was actually the only traffic we saw on this road the whole day, and we called in at the Huntsman for a strategic pint and rest our weary legs. Mine were very weary at this point, but the alcohol certainly helped. Oh, and this is Little Wenlock Church, which if few of you have seen my other video, you've seen a whole story about this, and about a young lady called Alice Glaston. It's really old church, that is. It goes back to like 1200s or something, I think.
Yeah.
Little Wenlock Church. Witchwell Lane. Where the witches be. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, I've sailed down there. On our way down into the Severn Gorge now, and it was quite nice, this little panoramic view sign, picking out all the Shropshire Hills and the little bits and pieces. But little did we know that this was about as joyful as this lane was going to get. Because it starts off nice, but it turns into an absolute ankle breaker. And it became really hard work, to be fair. And again, if you're not steady on your feet, I wouldn't go this way. I really wouldn't. It's mad to think we're on the top of that, wasn't it?
And we came down a bit of a...
We're going down it zigzag, followed the road all the way up there to the pub, and now come down here. Hopefully down into Ironbridge Gorge. Or to our death. Cake or death. Do like a bit of cake or death. So my choice is all death. There they are. Spot them buggers. We see more deer now than we did when we were shooting them in Scotland. Chester will get mean if he watches this video. Fair play. They've heard us. A few months ago, me and Phil were up in Scotland doing our bit for Scottish tree conservation by eating a few of the deer, and we couldn't believe it. We just stumbled across a couple in a field. Now this is the lane, and this is how it turned out. Now I thought it had a bit of a Roman road look to it, and it certainly looks like it's not been repaired since Roman times. Honestly, my feet have never hurt so much after this section. Oh, and I could have quite easily done my ankle numerous times, and oddly, this was the good bit. I'm pretty sure this looks like it could be like a Roman road. It does. It really does. I actually had to stop recording all of the road simply because it got so treacherous. I was literally watching every step. But as you can see, we basically had come from the pub and we did all right until we got to the shit section. We were trying to make our way down to the river, but I tell you what, it was hard work, and some of the channels were a foot deep. Made it to the Severn Gorge, mate.
It's only a little bit further now.
Oh, we're alive. Just.
Maybe not tomorrow. Living for today.
Oh.
Just message Claire. We made it to the Severn. Just a little bit further now. To the bridge.
Yeah, we got another pub between here and the bridge as well.
Well, that's fine. I don't mind stopping again. Another rest.
Yeah. It's a good bit of river now, isn't it?
Did you know? Just have.
Ah,
Fucker.
what was it, grasshopper?
No, it was it a frog hopper?
Oh, a frog hopper.
Something along that. You know, cuckoo spit.
Yeah.
The insect in that turns into one of them.
All right. And
I just found out that recently.
then one jumps on you.
That's what just told us. Oh, that's a little fucker. My dad told me, Dad was like, yeah, I've always known that.
Oh, it's really nice to see those, all the wildflowers in it. Years ago, a farmer would have just mowed over them with a bloody strimmer.
To wake everything up. Yeah, look at that. Look. Weird. It's not it. I don't know the difference in them. I know there's different sizes, but they got like a butterfly look to them
Yeah.
rather than a dragonfly or a dragonfly.
butterflies everywhere. Absolutely everywhere in this field.
And how far have we walked? We got here.
Yeah.
I know we saw a little bit coming down through near the Scouts hut, but we've seen double the amount probably here that we did up there.
Well, we've done 5k before we found any insects. Look at that. Is that blue? I got to take a picture of this tree anyway. Oh, I've come too far. That is a magnificent tree. Look at that. That is a beautiful English oak. And I don't think that's ever been coppiced, although it's slightly fatter in just above the waist. Look, could have been years ago. It's got some age to it, if that could tell a tale or two, couldn't it? What you found?
These bad boys. I've come across some of these when I was a kid. And we came across them recently and I showed Evie.
Oh, that Himalayan balsam.
I think absolutely fantastic the way it shoots, but they're not quite ready. The way they shoot, whenever they fly open,
Yeah.
they're not quite ready then.
They're evasive, aren't they? Not supposed to be here. You can see it. Yeah, you can see what.
Spitting their seeds out everywhere.
They're an amazing plant, just sadly in the wrong place, aren't they? Oh, that's the old Victorian bridge, I think, into the old power station. Phil clocked it before me. I was too busy listening to the pheasant. Here we go. His arms are in the air. We've done the Wrekin to Ironbridge, motherfuckers. Tell you what, I thoroughly enjoyed that, man, but I tell you what, that was hard work, that was.
I think it's definitely going to be sore in the morning.
Mate, every part of me is sore. I'm going to need a prostate exam. Getting too old for this shit. Right, let's find a pub. Oh, what's that? We go back down to the river, do we? Does that take us away from a pub? We come to a dead end. It's far too overgrown and we aren't risking getting stung and shit. We only got to go back 300 yards. You what, sorry? Yeah, you're going to go back on the road? It's pretty rank down here, isn't it? We tried to follow the river into Ironbridge as much as possible, but it started to get a bit rank. And we're going to traipsing through brambles and nettles.
I'm not moaning about it. Don't do it round me.
So it was my turn to go in and get the pints, and I've never felt so underdressed in my entire life. We walked along the river. I was covered in grass stains. I looked like I'd been dragged through a hedge, and this place was posh. Trying to get you in the sign-in. Ah, got you.
The rat race.
The rat race, that's it.
If you've ever walked into a place and the room goes completely silent while everyone turns around and looks at you, that's pretty much what happened to me.
Made it in familiar territory. Dale End Park. That has been one hell of a walk. One hell of a walk. Just got to go through Dale End Park now. Find another pub, have another pint, and then we're done. What time is it, Phil?
4:45.
4:45.
It's later than I thought.
It's a bit later than I thought. So yeah, got picked up at 8 o'clock. Was at the Wrekin about what, 8:30, 8:45? And then we're walking into Ironbridge now. Loads of it in it. Still pretty though, I suppose. I wonder if the bees like it. Anyway, off to find another pub. Hi, right. We're at the Swan, and we made it into Ironbridge. And I'm knackered, and I want another beer.
What do you want there, Ross?
Something cold and wet.
Water, right? You like a pint of water?
Guinness cold or some kind of lagery stuff, I think. Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
It's not quite as posh as the last one.
Don't say so. We just went up the Wrekin down and made our way over this way, so we stopped at
The rat. Yeah.
We said, "Gosh."
Well, I walked in there looking like this, covered in mud and sweat, and everyone just kind of looked at me.
Oh no, it's too far. What do you look then?
Oh, we've got a selection, haven't we? Oh, I don't know. I'm tempted to have a hobgoblin, but it's a bit strong, isn't it? You had a craft lager, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have one of them. Oh yeah, cheers, mate.
As you can see, I didn't have a craft lager. I discovered Hobgoblin Stout, and Hobgoblin Stout went down so nicely that me and Phil stayed for a few more pints, and that led to us inviting the family down for a meal, and we ended up staying and having tea. I gotta be honest, if you're in Ironbridge and you end up at the Swan, food was fantastic, the beer was good, and it was really nice. So there we have it, folks. We made it from the Wrekin to Ironbridge, and we finished off with beer and food and family. What more can you ask for?